Hi there, it's Carrie Palmer. It's Friday, August 4th. So when I take a bath, I get a lot of stuff, and today was no exception. So today I was told you're making a video. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done many videos. I know I'm supposed to be, I will be, but right now it's like I've kind of been living Groundhog Day. Literally. And so I am shaking the pudding. I got to change things up because I've been living Groundhog Day. This is the last video I will ever record right here, but it may not look completely the same to you because I love this furniture. And so I'm taking all this with me. I'm going to put a picture in here of what the ad looks like. My house is on the market right now. And it's so weird when you see this room from when the real estate agent takes a picture. It's like, there's the bed and it's clean too, which makes a big difference. So my house is going to be on the market. So this is the last video here. I'm moving to assumably Mount Shasta. I believe that's where the step is taking me. Okay, so in the tub, I was told that I need to make this video. This is really powerful. This takes me back to my childhood. And this is a story about the reason I was brought to Newport, to this place that I was brought. This is a story about the reason I was brought to this Oregon coast town that I am leaving. And everything unfolded. Everything makes sense now. I've been here since March 17th, 22. And now I will be in Mount Shasta before the year is over, hopefully before the snow starts. What I'm talking about today is magic and miracles and saving lives. It's about making choices. It's about making choices on how your life is going to unfold. I thought I pre-cried in the bathtub. It's going to be a very emotional video, so I'm going to try not to cry. This is what my books are about, the books I need to finish, just about how simple choices change everything. So this video is about 3 sisters and 2 brothers. I was one of 3 sisters. I was the youngest of 3. Our childhood was full of horror, tragedy, sadness, abuse, violence. It was like absolute terror until I was in 5th grade. It was May 21st, the day my mother shot my dad. That was a really obviously crappy day in my life, but that was the last day of that, of the abuse, of the tragedy, of any of that. But that kind of stuff, it's like, it stays with you. You know, it's like, it happened to me. I lived it. I know I was there. And you feel like an island. You feel like you're the only one going through something so tragic. You see all these people living their lives and they all seem so normal and so happy and so full of wonderment. And you're like, just wanting to survive to the next day. So clearly I did. It was hell. It was absolute hell. My 2 sisters and I, we went through absolute hell together. We shared the same stories, the same 5 dads that we moved. Well, Lynn moved more than anybody, but I moved 26 times by the time I was in 6th grade. We all suffered tragically, but it's like what it happens to you after that happens. That is what is up to you. So I held on to that victim card till I was in my early 30s. I married a man who became my 6th father. And he told me what I was allowed to do and not do. And boy, did I listen, because if I didn't, I'd be in trouble. He was going to throw me out, threaten me with divorce. Oh, the whole gamut. So I had to be a good little girl and behave. And that's where I found books, found strength, eventually left. That's all going to be in my story. But it was the hardest thing I ever did. Talk about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. It's like when you live as a victim your whole life, you get good at it. You get really good at it. So I have 2 sisters. We all lived the same story. Our sister, Donna, she was a middle child. Donna, we lost her in October of 2020. It wasn't COVID. Donna chose tragedy. She stuck in tragedy, and her life got worse and worse and worse. She married 5 men like my mother. She had 3 kids, 3 different fathers. You know, life is what it is. You're exposed to what you're exposed to. That is your story. But it's our choices. So my sister, who is no longer with us, chose to stay in tragedy, and her life got worse and worse. Her 5th husband was so condescending and demeaning to her. It's like death was such a better option than what she had to live through in hell with this man for as long as she did. But she chose it. She picked it. My other sister, the oldest, I love her dearly. She had the lion's share of everything because she is the oldest. She had 5 more years of stuff than I had. She doesn't talk much about it, but I do know when we lost our other sister, I felt her essence the moment she died. It was like the hair on my neck stood up. I just felt her wrapping wings around me and I knew she had passed. At the same time, for my other sister, it opened up memories, things that she wasn't sure if she remembered, but she kind of wasn't sure. It opened these memories up for her. So when you lose somebody that's close to you like that, it's like, pay attention. So we both had something happen to us. And I know my sister, these memories that she had, I dealt with mine. And it's hard, but I clearly got through it. I don't know if she dealt with it or not. We talked about it and I highly suggested, like, write it down on paper, share it, share it, share it. Just write it, write it, write it. As long as you do that, you have evacuation point. It's not stuck in here because the stuff we have stuck in here causes cancer. It kills us. It causes disease, diabetes, everything, you name it. Something I want to share with this story that I'm going to share is, like, imagine yourself, and especially if you're younger, because I was older, I was in my early 30s when I'm like dropping the victim card and I started seeing myself in this new light. But imagine yourself as Casper, the friendly ghost, or a ghost. Just imagine yourself as there you stand. You're just a digital matrix. You are completely see-through. You can see through you. Anytime you've told a lie or you've joined the collective in something you don't agree with, or you've done stuff against your better judgment, those things create masses in your transparency and they are seen. I see them and you know they're there because they are things that you've kept tucked away that are darkness because you can't. And I'm sharing this daily. You say yes to things that you really want to say no to, but it's easier to say yes. And so you do it. Every time you do that, you create a blob in your transparency, your digital matrix getting all filled in with ickiness, with darkness, with things you're not letting go of. So my child was tragic. It was horrible. It was so tragic that I was suicidal. I was depressed, all that good stuff. But I kept searching for an answer and I kept going until I was brought to this space where I am, to this space to where now I only walk in bliss. I am ineffable. I am enlightened. I walk with God full time. That's all I do. I'm alone 99.9% of the time and I'm in silence. It's just contemplation or non-contemplation. It's just silence. But coming to Newport, meeting this woman that I needed to meet, I was brought here to help unkink her hoses. And oh my stars, this woman is magical. It's like sometimes we just need somebody to take the pipe cleaning, and once we met, it was like, whoo, it was like when I met Alden, my connection to the divine was opened. And I didn't even know I had a connect. I didn't know there was a God. I did not believe in God because my childhood was tragic. I held on to my story for 30 some odd years. There are 2 boys that have lived the most tragic story I could never imagine. Worse than mine. Worse than mine. They've lived it for 11 years. And this is part of why I've been brought here. I've been here. It's been my training ground. It's been my place to meet this woman. But these 2 boys needed to be set free because they were living in tragedy. I'm not going to share their story. I'm going to talk to them because I think someday soon they're going to be happy to share their story. One is going on 17. The other is 18. I believe the ages are around accurate. And they have basically been kept in captivity for 11 years. It's tragic. They were Hansel and Gretel, Cinderella. Their story was tragic. The other day, I got to hug these boys. And they are so brilliant. They are such bright lights. They've been set free from their bondage. They're out of the cage. One of them isn't certain yet. One of them is so afraid he's going to have to go back, but he's not. They are free from their cage. And I want to help them understand this a little bit. What they don't realize, oh my God, Jonathan and Liam, meeting you was the reason I came to Newport. And Jonathan, you're light. You're going to be easy to get through this. Liam, it's just going to take a minute. I want to explain this to you guys. The reason why this is so important for you to listen to me. You are young. I was in my early 30s when I finally dropped my story. You guys just stepped out of your story. You literally, the wounds are fresh. You just got out of the cage. But what I want to tell you is your me. I hope you see how strong I am. I have rocket fuel. You could charge a Tesla by me. Nothing. I fear nothing because I know what hell is. And so do you. But what I also know is what I know now, being a teacher and a messenger, is that I had enough faith in myself being born into this lifetime that I knew this was my big one. And I knew I could get through it. I knew I could get through anything. And so I signed up for a story of complete hell and torture. And that was here. And the pendulum swung. And now I'm here. I am light. I am not in hell. I let hell go all the way through here. You guys are here. You're leaving hell now. You don't have to wait a year. You don't have to wait 2 years. You don't have to wait 5 years. What I'm telling you to do is trust that you are so strong as souls that you set yourself up for a, as the word I use, doozy of a story. Because you both knew you would get through it. You weren't going to get stuck in this story. So now that you have walked out of it, what I'm hoping you can try to do, and here's the reality of it. You chose this story. You chose this man as your dad and your mother who you lost and this wicked witch of the West to step in and put you in captivity. You chose it. You had an agreement with this wicked witch of the West before you even came here that she would hold you down. She would keep you down and keep you suppressed and do everything within her power to keep you there. That's what you wanted her to do. I know it's hard to fathom now, but she did exactly what you asked her to do. And she did it well. She did it so well. I swear to God, this woman is like, she's the most evil thing on the planet, but she did her job. She did what you asked her to do. That tells me, because you two are now free from this captivity, you can choose to be like my sister Donna and have anger and resentment and get even and like throw your arrow at her with everything that goes on in your life and blame her because of what happened to you and your dad for keeping you there. You could do that, or you could look back and say, thank you. Thank you for the gift of life. I'm alive. I'm out of there. And I'm with the most amazing people in the planet now. And it doesn't matter if you're not with the most amazing people in the planet. You move on from your story. Gratitude. Bless them. Forgive them, because them as a soul, they did exactly what you asked them to do. Them as a human, they are garbage. But that's what we come here to do. We come here to take turns being garbage. You've been garbage. I've been garbage. We've been evil, evil little scouts. We've done it all. But right now, it's about two boys who I want you guys to realize this is the beginning of your life. My life is magnificent now, but it took me decades to undo the damage that I allowed to be done by staying stuck in my story. You guys can change that right this second. You can look back and see the blessing and know that you're old enough to get this. And angels have been sent your way. Angels have been sent your way. And one of them in the form of a girlfriend and a mother. These are angels. I've had many angels in my life. Look at these as gifts of God. I did not know there was a God until this last year. There is a higher power, whatever you want it to be, whatever works for you to understand it. There is something so much bigger than us. And you are following the signs. You've found the angels have found you. You got pulled out of your story. Now it's time to kiss it in the butt and say goodbye to it. Because starting right now, this moment is the only moment you have. You can decide to hold on to that story of what happened to you and drag it with you like a ball and chain and climb up mountains. You could set it free. You could be a butterfly and unfold into brilliance or anything you want to do with your life. It's a choice. Hang on to the garbage, blame, point fingers, drink, smoke, do drugs, be homeless, commit suicide, take whatever path you want to take. We do all of it. We come here to do all of it. So John and Liam, this is for you, because I fully expect to see the two of you thrive. You have so much opportunity now, and I know you both know it. You're pinching yourselves. You're sticking your finger out of the cage constantly to see. I just keep seeing you as like Disney victims. Your story is horrible, but you're over it. And now your light is going to shine. So this video is for anybody who was a victim, who had a story. Stay stuck in it or walk away. My sister died a victim. And I'm not a victim at all. I have no fear. I'm the strongest person I know. Thank you.